That sucks for a lot of reasons.
Gotta say, as a hyper casual Knicks fan, didn't care.
I thought it was so sad.
Wait, you know what pisses me off? And this is totally me just being an asshole. Can we stop acting like when people like tear their ACL, they died?
Well,
You know what I mean? Because people are like, I'm praying for you, dude. I'm like,
I mean,
it's horrible, but like, he's alive.
I
still.
think we're just in this period because I feel like it used to be a totally
Used
a
to
game
career
changer.
ender.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's
now,
true.
but now
it's
different,
like 6 months.
and we're just
Yeah.
not caught
Yeah.
up to that.
Back in the day when it would like your career was done, I could
think
see that
it's-
being like, sorry, bro, I'm
I
praying
think
for you.
it's harder. I think that is part of it. I think people still forget that, like, they haven't adjusted to not even how quick, but also people come back from those injuries like the exact same. Like, it used to be like if you can take the year and a half to recover, you're going to be like a bench guy at best for the rest of your
Right.
career, even if you're like the best player of all time. Now
Yeah.
it's like, dude, I'm like, you tear your ACL, even your Achilles, you're like 6 months and you're back to exactly how you were
That's
before.
a good point.
I'm looking at Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. And he's in his 40s. But
Right.
I think the other thing about it is the moment matters. Like when you tear it at the start of a game 7 and you're the best player on your team, people are like, dude, that sucks. Cuz like you didn't even give yourself a chance to win game 7.
Yeah,
you
like
know?
that could have been a totally different game. I mean,
Oh,
no, he
for
wasn't at
sure.
like 100% to begin with, but yeah, I mean, that'd be totally different if he played
Yeah.
all 4 quarters.
And I feel like that people are like, damn, like they kind of went on a miracle run, got there, and then you didn't even give yourself a chance to win it because you got hurt like
I
that.
mean, what are you gonna
so
do?
I feel like, but I agree.
Because
but I
like
feel
that calf
that's-
was of course
people
giving
are-
him a bunch of problems before then and
Yeah.
stuff, but like
But that's why
I
I,
guess you
feel
can't
like
not
people are
play.
like,
And you want to see all the teams at full speed, full
Oh, yeah.
capacity. You
Yeah,
don't want to,
100%.
some like rinky-dink
and
win. It's
and the
like, whatever.
the last game 7 was what, Warriors Cavs
as far
I
as I
think-
know, that's
Oh, really?
in the NBA.
Wow.
So it's been
Which
was
that was
2019
legendary
that was
finals.
right before the
Yeah.
COVID.
no, that was
Damn.
2000. That was like 2016 or something.
Okay, so even that, so it's been that long since
Yeah.
a Game 7 NBA Finals game. So I feel like people were super, super excited to watch it, and then that happens, and people are like, "Damn, that sucks."
brutal. I mean, they hung around for a minute. That guy, number 9, Mick something. I can't remember the white
I
guy.
feel like
Whoa. Mick. You're throwing around slurs? Okay.
I feel like, and I don't watch a ton of NBA basketball, but I feel like once it got to the third quarter, it wasn't actually as close. I feel like OKC just kind of slept walk through the first half, knowing that like he's injured, we're gonna win. And then they were like, "Oh shit, it is still close. Let's pull away." And then, yeah. My bone to pick is the celebration afterwards. Like, I don't know. Again, I know people rag on basketball for this kind of thing, but did you see like people were like, "Here's the NFL, the NHL, like even the MLB like celebrations," and then like here's the NBA.
No,
like,
what do you mean? What
like
celebration?
just like on
Yeah.
the court, like the second the clock hits 0, and
Yeah.
dudes are just like kind of like slapping each other up.
Yeah.
Like that. Whereas in all other sports, people go crazy. You know what I mean?
And I heard that, because I didn't watch the celebration, but I heard on the sports radio they were complaining about it, that right when the buzzer sounds, like practically they were set up the stage in like 5 seconds. They Nike or whatever threw like these gold shoes around SGA, like promo shit.
Right.
And on the radio they were making some valid points, like you got to let the players celebrate. Like everyone loves the emotion of the game, But I didn't see it, but I'm just going off of what they said. They were like, the second it was over, it was like all TV mode, production mode, get all the shit out there, get all the reporters out there. Like,
yeah.
the best part is watching them like run around and dive on each other and celebrate. So,
I mean, you got to imagine too, like if you're one of those guys working your whole life to get there, like you want to have a second in that moment. On the other hand, you throw those Nikes around your neck, you're getting a lot of cash.
You're getting a paycheck for that one.
The
this is a
NBA one
comparison?
yeah, they show like all of the most recent ones. I feel like part of that. I mean, there's two things with that. One, I feel like an NBA court is a lot more accessible. It's a lot smaller. Like a football field's a lot bigger, so
Yeah.
they can be doing that in one end zone while their guys are celebrating in another kind of thing.
True.
And even like the sideline and the bench area. Also, the NBA court's just so accessible. Like you're already, even if you're on the sideline of an NFL game, again, you got to get somewhere on the field. Like, you take 2 steps onto an NBA court and you're in the middle of the court, So I think that's part of it. But also, that's the other thing is that's, the NBA is a growing league. It's just all about that moolah, baby. That's how I make it. But I did see that the TV ratings were, like, unbelievable. It was like
that's interesting.
14 million average viewers or something like that.
Just if you want to see it, just comparing all those.
So they were like, but again, like that tweet is like, these people, the NBA has, lost.
I feel like
its
typically,
lust.
right? I feel like typically you see way more enthusiasm.
But again, I think that's just part of how the game went. Like, the injury.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? Like, they're like, yeah, we won. But I don't know. It's not cool. That's not fun. Celebrate. Live a little.
I mean, it's great. I was just, it's like a very, like, casual NBA fan. I was just happy to see a team win their first title, like, especially OKC. I feel like Buffalo would relate, because, like, small market, kind of like.
For sure.
Yes, for sure.
And we don't have all 4 sports. They only have 1 pro team.
Yep.
Oh, I never thought about that before.
Yeah, that's why they say the OKC fans are so crazy.
I saw one post where they kind of went through, like, the whole timeline of that team from, like, the Harden, Westbrook, Durant days, and stuff.
They were talking about it.
They were nasty back then.
Ryan Russillo was talking about it on Part of My Take today, and, like, how they've got the team. They were making the joke that this is the worst OKC team that'll ever win a title. Because they were saying, like, the dynasty is going to continue and they're only going to be better.
Right.
And we're kind of out of the super team era now. So, like, Holmgren, SGA, I feel like everyone's going to try to stick together. Especially because, like, they kind of.
What do you mean? KD's on the move.
Oh, dude, he's.
If anything, he's the super team killer.
Yeah.
I mean, because he's trying to, like, go around and. I mean,
I don't know. If
he was like the player that sparked the first interest in the super teams. I mean, I'll never forget the moment when I saw that notification come on my phone that he went to the Warriors.
Dude, horrible.
That was crazy.
That pissed me off so much.
I think it was the 4th of July. I think it might have been like July 5th or something, but I think it was on the 4th of July. And I'll never forget that.
Because I get the super team concept.
Sure.
But it's the only I respected it back then when it was like, let's go somewhere random that has like one guy. He went to a team that was like already arguably a super team.
Right.
So that defeated the whole point. Like, it was cool when LeBron and Bosh went with Wade and all that. Like, that was like
a little
more
Wade
organic.
Talk about that, like how they like organized that whole thing and how they picked like the two of them like got together and were like, yeah, we're gonna do it. How they picked their third, like how they landed on Chris Bosh. It's just really like you gotta look up like an interview where he talks about it because it's really cool to hear. Also, it's massive collusion. Like, there's no way that it's legal.
Yeah.
A lot of collusion,
But I guess I don't know if collusion between players is really that much of a thing. It's probably like what do you expect players not to talk to each other? Like,
it's different because nowadays, like, they all work out together.
Yeah, that's why
the Olympic team, so they're all like friends, and the NBA is way smaller than the NHL or the NFL.
Yeah,
so it makes sense. But yeah, it is collusion, but I wouldn't be mad at it.
No. Just guys playing ball, man.
It's just guys.
Guys playing ball.
Guys
you can't be
hanging
mad
out.
at that. Let's talk documentaries because we were talking.
Yes.
I stopped you from talking about it out there, because there's also one that Emily and I were talking about that is gonna be on. Yeah, grab that, Emily, because I know she's gonna have. They're making a documentary, or they've made one. It comes out on Netflix like tomorrow, maybe, about that cruise ship that everybody had to like poop on or whatever.
Oh yeah.
And it's called like Crazy Poop Cruise is like the
I
name
think
of the.
it's a
Cruise or
Netflix
something.
documentary.
It's a Netflix documentary.
I saw that up like coming soon or whatever,
Yeah.
and I was like, definitely gonna watch that shit.
So I watched it.
No pun intended. But
I'm a little bummed about it, or not bummed, but upset because, first of all, that documentary is 55 minutes long. I just watched the one about the Rob Ford, the Toronto mayor that they put out.
Me too.
That was only 43 minutes. I feel like they did not have enough content to fill a full documentary about Rob Ford.
Because after the crack thing, he kind of was just like disappeared, and then they're like, oh, then he died.
Yeah, exactly.
Like for years, he just was kind of like out there, no one really knew, and then they're like, did he get like cancer or something?
Yeah, he did.
Because that's kind of how I felt. Like, I might have dozed off at some points of it, but I woke up and I didn't miss anything. Because like it was like the crack thing, he left the public eye, boom, 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 got
Yeah.
cancer and died.
Yeah,
And I'm
that
like,
was-
damn, there really was a lot of
Yeah.
time in there.
The
It
American
was
dream, baby.
so weird.
Yeah.
And it felt like even the reporters who they interviewed, like they didn't have a lot to say, and they were just like, "We
Yeah,
saw a
he did
video
crack.
of Rob Ford smoking crack." So like you kind of
Yeah,
and that
like
was
that's
it.
not
Which, like, what, can men not live anymore? I mean, fuck.
Yeah, well, that two things. One, yes, if somebody wants to enjoy a little crack,
You know,
who are we to say that they can't?
yeah.
And
Not
two,
my, not my business.
the second point, I don't remember what it was.
Smoking too much crack.
Yeah,
The poop documentary.
yeah.
So I
go ahead.
watched the teaser for it that they played, and my perception of this event was like people were shitting everywhere.
Yeah, the hallway.
It was
wherever
like
you could find
the
a place to
ballroom.
shit.
Anywhere, the ballroom especially.
Oh yeah,
the ballroom,
the
the
side,
casino.
The slide.
the side of their. Were they shitting off the side? I've been shitting off
I
the
would
side.
imagine you'd have to. That'd be.
Hopefully you're not on the low
But
deck.
they
so
were
I can
talking
poop
about-
out.
Kind of a dangerous game. Hanging the cheeks off the side. You might,
the most dangerous game.
if you got a few beers in you, you
Someone's-
might
Yeah.
topple into the Atlantic Ocean.
Here, hold my ankles and my wrists.
Yeah, we got to take shifts, guys. We'll take turns holding each other's ankles.
But I guess what really happened is, all the toilets like stopped working. There's no plumbing on the ship, usable plumbing. So they gave them all like red like biohazard bags to poop in. And in the teaser, they show all these people going like, the second I saw that bag, I was like, nope, absolutely not.
Damn.
And I'm like, who are these uppity fucking cruise people?
You've never shit in a bag before? You fucking...
I
It's
feel
not
like
even
that's
high
like
horse.
but it's not even like a top. Like you're in an
They
emergency
give you
situation.
a grocery bag.
Yeah,
Like, good
it's,
luck.
it's not even like a thank
Hopefully
you
it's
with
not.
a
It's a
smiley
paper
face
bag.
on
Hopefully it's solid.
it. Paper bag.
Yeah.
God damn. Good luck with that.
And
Yeah,
like
it's
the
sucking
cruise ship was
through.
like on fire
Yeah.
at one point. It's like I think you have bigger problems.
Jesus.
Like what if your boat fucking sinks?
And it's a biohazard bag.
don't
Like
think
it's a
poop is the biggest
bag
problem.
for like
Poop.
shit. It's a
Totally
bag
a
for
Shit or
shit.
blood? That's really, yeah.
Exactly.
There's
Those
two
bags are
options.
only used for two things.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah,
red
yeah.
for a reason.
Right. Which, good on them, sort of, for having enough.
Yeah.
Like, I did not. I thought they were just, shitting on the ground or mushing it into the shower.
Yeah, well, that's what
mushing it down the drain.
honestly, sometimes I do that when my toilet is functional. If I don't, if I think it's going to be a full body,
You shit in the shower?
and
I
I've heard
can't
of
tell if
people
he's
doing
joking.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm trying to yes and, but I'm also scared.
yeah.
No, I've heard of people do it. They call it waffle stomping because of the way like the drain
Oh.
looks. I've
Yeah.
heard of that before,
Yeah,
but
I've
I've
never
always
heard
thought it was
that
pretty
name.
I
gross.
just found out what a Philadelphia sidecar is.
Jesus Christ, that's something that has to do with poop.
Actually, sort of. I didn't. That's
if
not.
you do it right.
That's not why. Yeah, if you do it the way I do it. No, I didn't even bring that up because of the poop thing, but it actually does sort of have to do with poop. I want to explain it. I can't.
What?
My mom's probably gonna watch this. I cannot explain. Okay, I'll explain.
Explain it. Yeah.
Okay.
Explain it as if it were a children's show.
God, I wish I could.
Let's bring in let's bring in one of the
Yeah,
puppets.
get the
Let's get a
puppet out.
puppet. Okay, so we're gonna. No, all right. What's it called when you
Colostomy bag.
Yes.
It's when you bang a colostomy bag hole.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, how did you not put that together
Yeah,
instantly?
yeah. That's really
Because
all it
I'm
is.
not a fucking freak.
Yeah.
man. I'm not a little freak.
Yeah,
No,
Andrew,
my-
you
but-
fucking idiot. The only normal guy in here. What the fuck, dude? Look
Oh,
alive,
man.
bro. No, but
Jesus.
yeah, one of the local comedians I'm cool with posted that on Facebook. He goes, "Just found out what that is. Like, do not look it up." And then everyone in the comments was like, "Just looked it up. Holy shit!" I'm like, what?
But-
And one guy was from Philly. He's like, "Damn, I didn't even know about this." But anything like bad is like the Philadelphia something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
for good reason.
Yeah, right. I mean, they threw batteries at Santa Claus.
Jesus.
Yeah, Eagles fans, yeah. But anyway, I'm so sorry. What are we? I did not mean to derail that. Were they doing that on the ship, though?
yeah.
I mean, all bets are off. New
I
world
mean,
order.
if it was-
Honestly, if you had a colostomy bag on the ship, you're probably laughing at everybody else.
True. You're probably
Idiots.
just you're running
Yeah.
around like you're like fuck this, dude.
Yeah, dude, I'm going in the pool.
Like I brought my own bag.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go in the
you
hot
didn't realize
tub.
this cruise is BYOB, baby.
BYOB.
bring your own bag.
Yep, that's what I was going for,
But
Andy.
you're right, dude. If they were on there, they were like,
Yeah.
"Hey, you
This
guys
is
are all
regular
They had
Tuesday.
no
like, I
idea.
don't
They
give
had
You got
no
a shit in the
idea.
bag? I call this a Tuesday.
They had
Right.
no idea something bad was going on.
Yep.
They're like, best cruise of my life. It was
No,
so-
they were the only ones
Yeah.
worried
Staff
about the
was so
fire
nice.
that Emily was
Yeah.
talking about.
They had to put him out.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
like, there's a fire, guys. They're like, I'm shitting in a bag. They're like, so am I, but there's a fire. I'm excited for that one, though. It's going to be a good doc.
Now I gotta watch it.
Documentaries lost me somewhere along the way. I like
There's a lot of them now.
I love
dude,
it.
and they're about that doesn't need a documentary.
Yeah, I think the definition of documentary is too loose these days.
Yeah, they were actually. I'm just rolling through other content in my brain that I'm going to talk about today. But on the Yak, they were talking about this. They're like documentaries come out too quickly now.
Yes.
That's
we
exactly
were,
what Nate was about
we
to
were,
say.
That's what we started talking about in there.
Yeah.
Like the Liver King one. Sorry, I don't want to jump.
No,
too
jump,
much.
No,
jump,
yeah.
jump.
But, like, that wasn't even that far removed from his viral whatever. And then now he got arrested. That would have been the perfect thing to put in a doc. But they already put out Netflix, too. It's not even like it's Tubi or some shit.
Dang.
Yeah.
It's Netflix. And then another thing happened. So it's
They're
like now you
doing
have
docs too quick.
Before the story's over.
So years from now, if like our kids watch the Liver King doc,
They're never
Which
going to
they're
realize
gonna
that
want
he was
to.
in
wouldn't
jail.
have
I
like a
want to.
very significant thing on his like fall off. He gets arrested.
You
want
wanna
to
know what
Joe
the
Rogan.
last-
I'm sure they'll cover that in
Oh,
school.
I want a full month long.
McGraw Hill's got a
Yeah,
curriculum set up.
McGraw
with
Hill
Liver
is-
King.
They're feverishly writing all
That's
this
the other
down.
problem with documentaries is it's twofold. It either comes out too quick or it's too much like filler. Like they try to drag shit out. Like the
Yeah.
mini series docs that are like 7 episodes. Like
Yeah.
brother,
I don't
you could have
watch
done
that
this in
shit.
2.
I like a 2
love it.
hour, 90-minute.
I need just
Dude,
like one straight shot, or else I lose
I'm
interest.
Yeah.
I'm an absolute. I love a miniseries. Miniseries are they're essentially long movies that you can like watch in different
Well,
episodes.
if it's like
Oh,
a
yeah.
scripted show, like a show miniseries,
Yeah.
but a doc miniseries, I'm not here for.
Unless it's like something I'm really interested
what
in.
about like the OJ? That was a miniseries.
that
yeah.
was different though.
Yeah.
That was a
Mhm.
cultural.
No, I just
movement when
proved
that-
you
like
wrong.
that, I would watch a miniseries.
But that's what I'm
That's
saying.
insane.
Think
If it's
about
like
how
some
long
murder,
that.
I'm not gonna watch for.
Think about how long ago that was, and then it came out. It was like the nostalgia factor as to why people wanted to watch it. Also, to Nate's point, shit can still happen.
But again,
Yeah.
kind of to what you said a couple minutes ago, like that was a story that had enough content to
Yes.
fill that amount of
Yes.
stuff.
Yeah, and I think the last
That deserved a
And
fuck-
enough
Somewhere
time has passed
somewhere
where,
post-
with OJ.
and a lot
somewhere
of stuff
post
people didn't know
Tiger
about.
King.
Yeah.
Post Tiger King is when Tiger King won
Yeah,
because they came out with the Tiger King 2, didn't they?
I think so.
And a movie.
Yeah, never
oh
watched
Christ,
it.
That
it
no
was
one
I think
watched.
it was a Peacock original.
Carol
Yeah,
Baskins.
because
And it was like way after where like nobody was even talking about it anymore, and they made a full
Yeah.
movie about
Yeah.
it.
Because wasn't
Kate McKinnon
didn't they
played,
do
Carol
didn't they
Baskins.
do
Yeah.
a
God
a
bless her.
telethon style thing with the guy from The Soup,
Oh, that was
Joel McHale?
that was
For Tiger King?
that fit in the timeline
'Cause it was
right.
COVID.
It was right after season 1 of Tiger
Yeah,
King.
and it was COVID, and they did like
and they did a reunion show. They did
yeah.
a reunion show.
Dude,
which
Tiger
was
King
virtually.
at that moment in time was so fucking good.
It
I was
it
watching that shit at
unbelievable.
work, like while I was working. I'd just be like staring at it, dude. Oh my god,
Yeah, I mean Joe Exotic. I mean there
he's
was
still in jail, isn't he?
I know. Remember when we thought like I thought Trump was gonna like pardon him.
Me too,
And he
just
was
for the
getting
hell
on
of it.
Yeah, and he was getting on the phone with people like, yeah, I'm expecting Trump to pardon me like any day
Yeah.
now. Like if you can reach him.
I feel like we should just
Christ.
do it. Just
At this
I don't
point,
know.
come on, let him out. What's the
he's-
worst that
he's
could happen?
Trying like there's people that like didn't even beg or ask that got let out, and then this dude's been like come on.
Guys, he wants it so bad.
Like he's
You gotta-
begging, like that's all he does on the internet. And it's like, come on, just throw him a bone.
Yeah,
You know?
Well,
Fuck.
now
Just
the
pardon my boy.
Menendez brothers, everybody are. I don't know if everybody's been, but I've heard a lot of stuff saying that like they're gonna get released because of
Yeah.
the big documentary that they had come out not too long ago.
True. And well, you know, speaking of too early, dude, there was like 4 documentaries about Luigi Mangione.
For real?
Like, dude, like within I don't know, however long, a month or something.
Jesus.
Like I remember I watched a YouTube video about it, and they were like, and they
Yeah.
were all kind of unpopular and like on like free apps or whatever. But there was like 4 of them, and I was like, the trial's not even over. But that speaks to your point about like they're just pumping them out way too
Yeah,
fast. Like if
it's
I want
nuts.
some shit like that, I'll watch like a YouTube long form video, and
sure.
then you know follow up on it.
PSA to stop the making of all documentaries.
Well, even like
And Diddy too.
the
There's
Diddy,
new Diddy
that's what I was
ones,
gonna
and this
say.
shit's not even over. Like the trial.
I feel like
It's
Hulu
not
had a
even
Diddy
over.
documentary the week he got arrested.
Oh, and that one girl who got killed in the woods.
Oh, by her
The girl
boyfriend
who
or
got
whatever.
killed
on
in
that
the
They
trip.
woods.
a
Yeah.
week after the it was kind of sort of dying down. There's a
Yeah.
documentary. I'm like,
Yeah, it's weird.
can we stop? It's insane because the story's not over. The people are like in court and shit. It's like we don't. Even, it could totally change.
Yeah, there's no.
if you
ending.
want to watch a real documentary, watch Discovering Atlantis. It's I think that's what it's called. It's
Yeah.
Discovery Channel,
I think it's National Geographic.
National
'cause It's on
Geographic.
Disney Plus.
and it's funded by
James Cameron.
James Cameron.
Oh,
Unbelievable doc. They found Atlantis. Spoiler alert, but you got to watch it to find out where.
Yeah, where it
Shit.
could be anywhere. Could be
anywhere.
even right in your own backyard.
could be in the Niagara River.
So I'm
Good
on
spot.
docs.
I would
Imagine-
argue it is.
Imagine we are Atlantis.
Atlantis.
We are Atlantis.
was in us all along.
Yeah. Dude, I always knew I was such a strong swimmer.
I always knew I was Atlantis.
My ancestors were born underwater.
I always
Atlanta?
felt like Atlantis.
Yeah.
Folks, the summer's here. It's in full swing, baby, okay? And the last thing you want to do is show up to the pool party, show up to the barbecue empty-handed. But even if you get the call last minute, you don't have to worry because you can use Instacart. And when you use Instacart, you can get not just groceries, but some of your favorite products from some of your favorite local stores delivered right to your front door. Let me tell you something. I started getting my groceries delivered. It's changed. It's changed the game completely. I mean, I hated kind of going to the grocery store in the first place, you know, carts bumping into people, wandering around the aisles like, oh, where is this? Where is this? It makes no sense. But man, like, knowing that you're having everything you wanted to get from the store is on its way to your house while you're still able to do other chores or other things that are on your to-do list. Cross those off. It's a huge time saver. It's a huge load off your mind. And like I said, last minute invitation to the party, boom, boom, boom. They got you covered. But the best part is right now, 2 in the Cooler listeners get free delivery on their first order of $10 or more. All you have to do to get that deal is hit the link in this episode. See what I'm talking about for yourself. Make things easier on yourself and start using Instacart today. If you're interested in getting something nice, a little summer gift for yourself, okay, switching things up, check out all the great merch that we've got over at snackspot.se/creator/teespring.com. Let me say this. The t-shirts are perfect for the summer, and I'll tell you why. It's not that Gildan brand or whatever that a lot of companies or organizations get where they like mass print them and they're all cheap and disgusting feeling. But, you know, it's for a good cause, so you feel like you got to pay money for this cheap sweatshirt or t-shirt, even though it fits like a cardboard box and you wash and it shrinks like tiny. Not with these shirts, okay? First of all, try blend material. For those of you at home that may not know, that's a blend of 3 materials. Boom, boom, boom. That's quality you're not getting anywhere else. And everything, not just the t-shirts, but all the great products. We've got water bottles, hoodies, hats, fanny packs, notebooks, pint glasses, mugs. All of it is made to order, okay? And like I said, we would not cheap out on you, so take a look for yourself. Hit the link in the episode description or go check it out at snackspot.se/creator/teespring.com. And if you're interested in advertising on this show, you can email us at snackspotsports@gmail.com for details on how you can start reaching thousands of listeners in the Buffalo area and far beyond. Podcast advertising, they've done studies, Forbes particularly, this is the one I'm quoting, that it's up to 19% more effective than television advertising, newspaper, any of that traditional advertising. And you can see that people are getting results when you look at who's advertising on podcasts. Because fairly recently, McDonald's, State Farm, every car company, freaking Nissan, Ford, all these guys, they're doing ads on podcasts now, which is insane. I mean, these are huge companies. These are big companies, companies that do ads on the Super Bowl and things like that. And it's great to see them move into the podcasting space. But the problem is there hasn't really been any place for smaller or even local businesses to feel that benefit of podcast advertising, to see what it's all about. But that's what we're here for. So again, if you're interested in learning more about all the benefits of podcast advertising, hit us up, reach out to us at snackspotsports@gmail.com. Speaking of Diddy, the some pictures got released yesterday of the raid on his house, like the now what I would call infamous raid where they found all the baby oil.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
I'm just gonna pull him up because like you hear, he had what, like thousands of bottles of baby oil.
I feel like I
Yeah.
saw those pictures at the time.
Dude, they're
So
showing
I'll pull him up. And
they're
you tell
showing
me if
freak
these are
off
the ones.
videos in the trial to the jury.
Well, can you? I would love to see the courtroom sketches of
Oh my god.
just that style of like drawing, but with the the twerk off.
If you had
Or the freak
if you
off.
had the option to go be a juror for a trial like that, would you do it?
Oh, yeah.
1,000%. If you got called on jury duty and you find out it's Diddy, like,
How do you get
Oh
called
my
to
God.
a federal jury?
You just same way you get called to any other kind. I think.
Really? They just come out
I
and reach
guess
out
so.
to you?
I guess, yeah, I never thought
I
about
got. Have you ever got hit up for jury duty?
Yeah,
Yeah.
once.
Did you have to go?
No, because they sent it because it was when I moved.
Dude, I had the same thing happen to me. They sent
So I
it
was
to me.
not in the
it was
right
like
county.
Niagara County, and I was like, the question number like 2 on the list was like, "Do you live in Niagara County?" And I was like, "No."
That's question number 2.
Yeah, and they were
That's
like, "Can you prove it?" And I was like, "With what?" And they were like, "Your ID." And I was like, "No, it still says my old address. I just moved like 4 months ago. I bought a house." And they're like, "Do you have a National Grid stub?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And I had to mail it to them, and then they were like, "All right, you're good. Thanks for letting us
Oh,
know."
I
shit.
guess you're fine. So these are the Diddy pictures. So like, and I'll show them to the camera. But
Oh,
so
shit.
my reaction as I was flipping through these is like,
Not as much
yeah,
oil
there's
as I
there's a
thought.
lot of baby oil. Okay, that's just kind of like a regular counter or
Yeah.
drawer or whatever. Okay, a little more baby oil ready to move at any moment
Yeah.
in the suitcase.
A portable, yeah.
This just a bunch of guns, which is like, yeah, anytime your house gets raided, you're gonna find a bunch
Yeah.
of guns. Like, must be. That just, I was like, oh, Diddy had a lot of Louis Vuitton stuff. It
Yeah.
looks like, so I was
Of course,
surprised
of
about
course.
that. Just a regular. I don't know why that photo's
Yeah.
in there.
Mhm.
Just a bed, and then this one, I was like, oh shit, okay.
Is that
What
more
is-
baby oil?
What's those are boxes
Those
of
are
baby.
boxes.
Okay,
of,
all right.
of
How,
Astroglide.
I think
boxes
even,
on
dude, if he
boxes.
continued his reign of terror, his Joker behavior, I don't think he would have used up all that baby oil.
Yeah. Well, I guess we don't know how much
You
baby
gotta
oil.
be
Like, is
prepared.
that?
We haven't
Like-
seen the freak off video.
I was saying, is that the amount of baby oil being used in one night? Like, that's what I don't know.
No, that's stocked
I-
up. You probably get a discount if you buy in bulk. So you might as well. The
Do
thing
you
about
think-
Diddy, hey, say what
Dude,
you will
wait
about
a
it,
minute,
the
wait a
guy
minute, wait a
knows a
minute.
deal. He
Wait,
knows a deal.
Do you think that? Because you know how, like, when the FBI staked out like the mob, they would like take pictures of like the nightclubs and like look at like transactions, like try. Do you think that they would just be like, "Did he just oiled some more baby oil? We know he's getting ready. Like, let's try to bust his ass."
They're
Oh,
planning
maybe.
a job like something's
Yeah,
going down.
yeah, like they're
Yeah,
just
yeah.
watching his his bulk baby oil purchases.
Oh, I'm sure if they knew anything,
Yeah, they're
they
like,
knew what to look out for.
we
with
had
the baby
Diddy, we
oil.
have probable cause to arrest you because in the last 3 months you've ordered $1.4 million in baby oil.
That's the
He
thing.
should have been arrested on that alone,
yeah, that's what I
without
mean.
even knowing anything else.
Yeah, that's
If
the
you buy
probable
too much
cause.
of just an obscure product,
Usually, like I feel like that. I mean, I don't know. That should get flagged. Like it's probably flammable, right? Maybe not because it's baby
There's
oil.
only one way to find out.
we gotta let a baby
Dip a
on
baby.
fire.
That's what I was gonna do. I wasn't thinking light the oil on fire. I was thinking dip a baby in it.
Our scientists have been working tirelessly
Some
lighting
Mythbusters
babies
shit.
on. Oh my god, Jamie! Today we're gonna light a baby on
Yeah,
fire.
and you don't just take a match to his foot. You just like giant blow torches at
Well,
like
that's
back
yeah,
to back
yeah.
You have
style.
to. You've got to test. You got to build
Flamethrower.
up to it. You
Yeah.
start with like a book of matches.
No, you start with the flamethrower.
Jesus
Use
Christ,
torch.
that's 0 to 60, man.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
obviously,
this is about
this isn't a
science.
real
We need quick
baby. This is
answers.
a molded. You know that
We
gel.
don't have time.
There's
you know
a
that
trial.
gel they use that they say like is like skin and muscle and stuff for when they shoot or like stab stuff.
Oh,
they
yeah,
use
yeah.
like it's a baby version of that.
Oh,
Oh, all right. So you're talking just like a dummy.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Yeah, we're not gonna do a
Yeah,
real
we're obviously
baby.
not gonna burn a real baby. That would be terrible.
That'd
Put it
be
at the door
just
to like a
wrong
bunch
us.
of mothers. Like, sorry guys, you got to go home.
Yeah.
we're not gonna.
Can you
need
sign? Can
Yeah.
you sign this waiver? They're like, what does it say? Oh, nothing. Just
It's just legal
It's real
jargon.
Sophie's choice. Your baby's gonna be on TV
yeah.
for a minute.
Mm.
Like in Wonka when they pull out the long contract.
Oh, Wonka. Anytime you say Wonka, I never think of Timothy Chalamet's
Well,
Wonka.
you always should.
which I think
I didn't see that.
future
You've never seen it?
generations.
Dude,
Not Timmy Chalamet.
it's Timmy Chalamet's best work.
It's so much better than I thought it was.
Yeah,
gonna
I
be.
said-
okay.
I said
was
I
no,
like,
he's
you gotta
great. I'm sure
watch
it's
this.
great.
So I watched it on a plane, and I was like, "Fuck, he got me. Wonka
Yeah.
got me.
Chalamet's best work.
It's not bad
it's a
at
good
all.
plane movie though. You know.
It is a good plane movie. I would say.
Yeah.
There's another thing I just saw that, at the risk of sounding stupid, I want to bring up to you guys. So I saw a thing that said scientists, speaking of lighting babies on fire, scientists like went underwater and they found. This is what I saw said that scientists have discovered a sixth ocean underneath
The ocean.
the Earth's surface, like miles underneath surface. A sixth ocean.
Where?
I don't know.
What the fuck?
Sixth ocean. I thought there were 7 seas.
Yeah, but they're not all oceans.
So there's 7 seas, but there aren't. So how many? So
Oh,
there's.
no. We have to call a pirate. Get a pirate on. We need a pirate.
Get Jack Sparrow on the line.
Yeah. We got to call a professional about this, man. I don't know. But yeah, you're right. 7. Oh, I know. Yeah, because how do you determine?
So
An ocean from a sea,
yeah, it's all
and
connected.
where those borders. Like, when does the Pacific
So,
become the
like-
Indian?
because
Right.
the 7 seas is
It's just a myth.
like a historical literary phase, not fixed geographical destinations. It refers to the world's major
My life is a
That
fucking
breaks
lie.
my
bodies.
heart a little
So it's
bit.
the Arctic Ocean, the North Atlantic Ocean, the South Atlantic Ocean, the North Pacific Ocean, the South Pacific Ocean, the Indian Ocean, and then then the Antarctic Ocean. Whereas the actual 5 oceans are just Pacific, Atlantic, Indian, Arctic, and then Antarctic, also known as the Southern Ocean.
I don't like this one bit. I wish
Oh.
we didn't bring this up.
It's heartbreaking. As a child, I would dream about sailing the 7 seas. And
Yeah, touch all the corners.
Every
Get
hit every
Yeah.
corner on the map.
Oh, this is
Get past the sea
disgusting.
monsters. Jesus Christ.
This is the future liberals
Scientists have discovered evidence of a massive
taking away
water
our
reserve
seas.
dubbed
God
the
damn it.
Sixth Ocean, located within the Earth's mantle, approximately 700 kilometers, 435 miles below the surface. This hidden ocean isn't liquid water as we know it, but rather water molecules trapped within the crystal structure of a blue mineral ring called woodite.
Fucking
This
science.
discovery suggests a
Can they
vast
just
amount
shut
of
up
water
already?
They're
stored
just
beneath
trying to
the surface,
clickbait us. That's a
potentially
problem.
impacting our
Yeah.
understanding
So it's not an
of the
ocean.
planet's
You get
water
clickbaited like
cycle.
weekly.
I do get clickbaited a lot. This is
fake.
Okay, it's
So
on me. A
That-
big part
wait,
of
Yeah,
it.
did
I
anybody
don't-
hear
I
the
don't like
last
this.
sentence
I'll
to
admit.
that?
No. I was too busy
Sorry.
complaining.
We got really upset.
Yeah.
Potentially impacting our understanding of the planet's water cycle. I feel like water cycle is first grade, boom. You see that going up, and then you see the raindrops coming
Yeah.
down, and then it goes and then it comes back up.
I need a refresher.
Classic Earth science.
I think.
I'll give you a
It makes
refresher.
sense. I mean, if there's underground caverns, it's not crazy to think they might be filled with water.
Well, it's not a cavern, though. It's inside the actual Earth's crust, like one of the rings of the crust they think is just full of water molecules.
But that's not an actual ocean then.
So the water cycle goes...
We know what an ocean is.
I
I know
wanna-
there's not 7 seas, but I feel pretty confident saying I know an ocean when I see one. That's not an ocean. It's just a bunch of crystals with water molecules trapped in them.
Yes.
That's not an ocean.
I mean, yeah, that
wait,
means
wait,
like the
wait,
sweat
wait,
in my
wait,
ass
wait,
is an
wait, wait.
ocean. You know what I mean?
Which
Wait,
one could
wait,
argue
wait.
is absolutely
No,
true.
so-
Yeah, right now. I'm just kidding. But I don't like that. I don't like that there's not 7 seas.
We just make 7 seas.
No, you're not exactly right there, Andy. So,
I'm pretty right though.
This is hard to sit with. I'm not gonna lie. I don't.
so there's water molecules. They're not within the they're trapped like in a layer of crystals, not
I
like
get it.
within the
I
like
get
there's
it.
crystal, water, then more crust.
I don't know about that.
The water cycle as it stands today is precipitation,
Mm.
and then you
course.
get surface runoff and groundwater, and then evaporation from the oceans, lakes, and streams, as well as
and the seas.
transpiration from plants. That all comes into condensation. Condensation, which then turns once again into precipitation. Cycle of water.
Got it.
Yeah. Good
I
news.
understand
If
everything
we were,
completely.
I don't know if this was on the table, but if we thought we were going to run out of fresh water, good news is we just found some molecules, so we can
Guys,
start
just
cooking
keep
up our
digging.
We got to get in there. We got to harvest these crystals
own.
fast.
Yeah, bad.
If
Bad.
we know about it, chances are China's already started to dig.
Yeah.
We got to get that water
China
quick.
has found 7 seas already. We're so behind.
We're still at 5
China has
oceans.
found the seventh
Yeah,
sea.
we're
Yeah,
still
we
at
don't
5
even-
oceans.
Dude,
there is
they
a,
got these
uh,
crystals, and we don't even know they exist.
There
Yeah,
is
that's
a,
so fucked.
you know, they say you can't go past a certain spot of like Antarctica. You ever seen that conspiracy theory? Dude,
There's a lot of conspiracies about Antarctica. That's why we're not allowed to go there. No,
It's
I just
like,
people think there's like shit going on there, which I
That's
don't
the
know.
way. That's the way it always is until, like, it becomes a more regularly treaded upon place. Like I
Yeah.
feel like people, I mean, to what we've been talking about the whole time. The first maps of the 7 seas, you got a sea monster drawing over here and like this and that. It's like,
yeah,
oh,
treasure
that's
chest.
what's over there, treasure chest.
Yeah.
And then you go, people actually discover, and they're like,
We need a
No.
poop cruise to Antarctica. I think that's
cruise to Antarctica.
if people can see it, they can touch it, they can smell it. The conspiracies will slowly die. And if the conspiracies are real, then it'll just disprove it. If we
Yeah.
build some kind of cool facility there that, white trash people from Alabama can get on a boat and go to. I think-
bullet train, some kind of underground.
Yeah.
Let's get the water out of those crystals, create a train system between them.
Dude, let's
to
dam the
Antarctica.
Atlantic Ocean, right? Open up a valley that connects the UK to America.
You
All
have
right, so this is the theory.
the Moses project.
So it's
That's what we'll
the
call it.
theory.
Oh,
the
shit.
theory is
That's
that
a movie right there.
the known
like
content.
that Moonfall, like one of those, just a big blockbuster with like.
Yeah,
It's
we'll work on that.
Beyond Antarctica lies another previously unknown landmass accessible through a passage or opening in the ice wall of Antarctica. And the theory says that the governments and powerful organizations of the world are aware of this land and actively conceal it from the public, something involving claims of ancient civilizations or extraterrestrial involvement. Although science claims that they've studied Antarctica using various methods, including satellite imagery, radar, and seismic surveys, revealing a continent beneath the ice, not an open sea or another landmass.
Gotcha.
They're like, no big deal. It's just a continent, guys.
Yeah, that's nothing. That's cool.
No matter what it is.
I'm in on secret continent behind the ice wall.
I'm in on it too. I mean,
Yeah.
shit, why not?
Andy, your opinion?
It's also arbitrary, really, when you think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still don't really understand it. I guess I don't know if the ice wall goes
never
down
will.
or like
I don't think there's anything that is being hidden from us in Antarctica.
No, I think
Well,
it's just like
that's
the
where
fact
you're
that we
wrong.
can't.
Because I know for a fact there's stuff being hidden from us. in
What
Antarctica.
kind of
Well, even
stuff?
if it wasn't hidden, like what regular person's gonna go there to expose it? You know what I mean? Like, even if the government
Well,
was
people
like, we
say
don't care.
that, the military's not allowed to fly past the ice wall.
What ice wall?
That's what I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think there's an ice
There's
wall.
an ice wall in Antarctica.
There's not
There's an ice wall in Antarctica, and military
it's
not allowed
not
to fly
like-
past
But
it.
it's not
And they
like
claim
behind
it's
this
'cause,
ice
like,
wall, the
instruments,
Earth stops.
instruments. Yeah, I know there's.
Then you
there's
fall
more
off the
secret
side.
stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
There's
yeah.
That's
secret
what Kyrie Irving said.
Yeah, there's secret stuff back there. People are like, oh, the instruments, because it's South Pole and whatnot. But yeah, people say if you go back there, you don't come back, and if you do, they kill you. That's what they say.
That'd be kind of a sick way to die.
That's what I've heard.
Like you go beyond the ice wall and you're like, I saw it, and then some guy just snipes you from like
Yeah.
a tower.
We got
Mark Wahlberg. Yeah.
it. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, Mark Wahlberg tackles you in the the tundra.
I'll be honest. I watched
Defender of the
watched
ice
Shooter
wall.
last night. So
That's
top
a
of
Mark
mind.
Wahlberg vehicle.
Yeah.
Oh,
Is he a
Okay.
sniper in that movie?
You've never seen Shooter?
No, Matthew. No one's
You've
seen
seen
Shooter.
They came out with a whole TV show about it. 2007 Shooter, the movie.
oh God.
But then they came out with a TV show after. You've never seen Shooter with Mark Wahlberg?
Can't say. I
Dude,
have.
you
I'm
guys
so
are
sorry.
missing out.
Donnie Wahlberg is the only person who's seen Shooter. Mark couldn't even make it to the premiere. He sent
Dude,
Donnie
I
in his
put up a
place.
poll. Who's seen Shooter?
Who's
Everybody's
posting
seen
that poll?
Shooter.
The CNN
I'll
poll of
post it.
who's seen Shooter.
Who else is in that movie? Anybody notable?
Yeah, the guy. Let me get a name.
It's like
right.
Poltergeist. The whole cast is cursed. Like like
Yeah.
the cast of Glee. Like the whole cast of Shooter has all died in mysterious ways.
People,
Did
you know the
Michael
cast of
Pena?
Shooter is
Michael
cursed? Like,
Pena?
what's Shooter?
Michael Pena. Michael Pena.
That dude's
Pena?
in a
Is that
lot
his
of-
name?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do like him. He's great.
Kate Mara.
She's also good.
I don't know these people.
Danny Glover.
Okay, Danny
Got
Glover.
it.
That's really that's your core cast right there.
Be crazy if it was Donald Glover.
Hey,
His breakout role in Shooter too.
Yeah. Did you guys see Donald Glover in Shooter too? Be crazy if he was wearing a Shooter sleeve. That'd be kind of sick. In the movie, Mark Wahlberg's in a Shooter sleeve.
Whoa, that's where that comes from.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the origin. You guys didn't know that?
You know.
I would love to see current Mark Wahlberg play basketball. I feel like his arms are too. You know,
Oh,
I feel like
he's
he
a
shoots
hooper.
like
Nah,
this.
he's a
Like he
hooper.
shoots overhand.
The way Joakim Noah used to do
Yeah.
free throws.
but he gets
Right.
physical in
That's
the
how he
paint.
does it.
All right, two things. One, we got to
Oh,
do the
shit.
Who Would Win of the Week. But before we do it, I did want to talk a little bit about, because I know it's been a while since you've been on, Nate. And Andy had mentioned to me that you've been doing a ton of stand-up comedy lately.
Yes, sir.
I mean, look at his shirt.
I
Yeah.
mean, look,
Of course
dude,
he's been doing
I belong on a
stand-up.
cruise ship.
Doing stand-up
I belong on
comedy.
the poop cruise
Pack
doing.
your bags. Pack your plastic bag before you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah. Bring my
You go to the
colostomy.
doctor. Go to the doctor and be like, "Hey, can you put a colostomy bag in me?" And they're gonna be like, "Why?" And you're like, "Well, I'm going on a cruise."
A
Just
voluntary
convenient.
class.
You've
Yeah,
never
yeah.
done a voluntary colostomy?
I'm like,
A VC?
I
I'm
want
doing
it.
a VC.
My health insurance covers it.
Yeah.
It's my fucking right. To get, you know what
My
I mean?
right
I want a
to shit.
Philadelphia sidecar.
Yeah,
I want a Philly sidecar.
it's my right to
in
be able
me.
to get fucked in my poop hole.
Yeah. You know how hard it is to get opening spots at Helium, dude. I gotta sell out for let a guy fuck my side hole.
I gotta let Bobby Kelly fuck.
Yeah. Dude, I let Bobby Kelly fuck my side hole.
I gotta let a YouTube. I gotta let an Instagram. Who's that? I gotta let Trevor Wallace fuck my. give me a Philadelphia sidecar.
Okay, yeah.
What's the what was the guy? Oh, Nick Coletti.
Nick
Gotta let
Coletti, I
Nick
gotta
Coletti.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love Nick
Oh,
Coletti,
he's been
dude.
giving
Yeah.
giving those out like fucking.
Yeah.
Yeah. He would fuck someone's colostomy hole. What is there a name for it?
I don't want to speak for him. I don't want to speak for the man. But
Yeah. In his darkest hours,
look,
I want to say he's done it at least twice.
You know the guy. You know
We've
Rusty.
all-
You
we've
know
all
the guy
had that.
Rusty from Rusty Ranks Beers. He works
Yeah.
for Friday Beers.
yeah,
That guy would.
we've all had our down moments in H Point. We've all had like a couple of Four Locos and like go to a dark place.
No.
It is what it is.
yeah. Yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna say hand up right now. I haven't been to that place yet.
You'll get there.
Dude, I had a Four Loko and like a Miller, and I threw up on Matt Fentrazzo. I was laying sideways and I just fully fell asleep in like 30 seconds, like tranquilized me. I sat up and I was like, like right on his lap, and it was on a futon that was also his bed.
Good.
So-
Hey, this is moral of that story is good friends for making sure you were laying on your side.
True.
I don't think anyone was paying attention. I would love to give them credit. I'm
Yeah.
glad you thought of it, but I think that just happened
Just luck
because
of the draw.
I got a little sleepy, you know,
Yep.
at the function.
Yeah.
Taking naps at the
Sleepy at
function.
been there. So where have you been? Where have you been doing it? What have you been? How often? Like what's going on there?
I'm trying to do 3 days a week. Sometimes I'm a stupid asshole and I don't do that, but yeah. So it's like Mondays at Tudor Lounge, Tuesdays at Nietzsche's, Wednesdays at Milky's, Thursdays at Good Bar, Friday there's one at it's called Rohal's Corner, and then Saturdays and Sundays there's usually Sunday is Revolver Records has them, but usually the weekends since there's like national acts in town, there's usually no like Saturday open mics or anything, but I usually hit Milky's routinely and then, you know, kind of based on my schedule and stuff. But yeah, it's been a ton of fun, dude. It's been 3 months now.
Nice.
We just had the Buffalo's Funniest Competition, which is still going on. Connor Mink is tonight, so I'll be going to see him. But yeah, it's a big competition, big deal. People get real stressed about it. Not me.
Yeah, that's
I'm
what I've
new, so
heard.
I just was like,
Yeah,
Hey,
we've talked about that competition.
Christina
I think.
L
Yeah.
came, and I don't know if you know her. I think she just moved back to New York, but she was telling us the same thing. Like people
Yeah.
would go crazy about it.
yeah, this was since I just started, even like some of my other pals, they're like 2 years in. Some of them it's their first year too. So, but yeah, I've just been hearing stuff about it, and I've gone I think every night except for the first night because I was the second night. Dude, it's huge. It's like 12 comics a night, 6 nights, 3
Jeez.
people a night advance to the next round. So there was one yesterday. I'm going tonight, and I think the next one's like next Tuesday.
Cool.
So
And that's round one.
that's just round one. Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's like there's like people from Rochester that come. They don't
Mhm.
let us go in theirs. Just saying. But yeah, they don't let Buffalo people in the Rochester one, I guess.
Because it's so small. There's like
Yeah.
7 of them, I have to imagine.
I think theirs is one night. It's like 20 people one night.
Jesus.
Or like 25 people, I believe. I don't know. They just posted theirs. But yeah, I went out to Rochester for a show at this place called like LVO's Lounge. Dude, it was like one of those crazy like comedy stories where it looks like this little roadside like diner type thing. We pulled up, I was like, what the fuck is this? And it had like a marina in the back. Didn't know what to expect, but when we went in, it was like a coffee place. Like they were serving like avocado toast, and the counter was behind you, and then it had like this like strip club like light up stage with like a couch on it, and it actually ended up being a great time. Like it was weird because there was like young kids there, like well not young but like 10, 12. Then there was like
That's a young child.
well not like 6-year-olds, but yeah like
Right.
like young where I was like uncomfortable making jokes, and then there was like teenagers, because like here at the open mics it's all bars, so everyone's
Yeah.
like our age. and-
Yeah.
but yeah, it went well. There's like old people, so I did pretty good, and I went with my pal Jacob Morrison. He did a great job, but that was a lot of fun, like being on the road. It was my first time going out of Buffalo for a show, and it was so much fun, dude. It felt like the grimy like comedy life. You know what I mean? Like that's
Yeah.
what I want to do someday. Hopefully, if I'm lucky enough, is like that fucking grimy like tour life, just eating like shit,
Yeah.
driving around. You know what I mean? But it was a great time. But yeah, it's been awesome, dude. Like people are so friendly. Cause I remember talking to Connor and Brody, like on their podcast, like right before I started again, where I was like, bully me on the internet if you don't see me at these open mics or whatever. And what was I gonna say? Oh, and like one of my fears was going in, like you hear all the horror stories from like national, like the podcasts of like touring famous people, and they're like, oh, when I was coming up in New York, people were they'd like make fun of you and like bully you and shit. So I was always like really nervous. But I would say like 95% of the people are like extremely chill. Like, they just want to bro out, and like as long as you're nice and you're funny and you're not saying like insane shit, like people will hang out with you. Like I'm only 3 months in. I'm not as good as I'll be. I'm like pretty funny, and like I'm just trying to be nice and supportive, and people they catch on to that, like as long.
Yeah.
And
That's
then
really
there's
cool.
people that get banned from open mics for saying like insane shit.
Jesus.
What do you have? No.
Wait,
Yeah,
what?
Say some of that stuff right.
What do you have to say?
Yeah, that was gonna be my question, but then I was like, well, why would? Then we'd have to ban you from here, and we can't do that.
Well, you can imagine. I mean, I've heard horror stories. I've never like witnessed anything that was like so insane that I've like
I
it
guess
blew
I
me
don't-
away.
Yeah, I don't. Listen, I'm gonna leave this open ended. I don't want a response, but
I'm gonna respond. I'm just kidding.
I don't necessarily want to. Well, I do kind of want to hear the joke that really got him banned, but I kind of just want to know like the topics that are off limits. Like,
It's probably
let
they
me
just
throw a
went
co-
crazy.
terrorism. Can you joke about terrorism?
Oh yeah. Well,
Okay.
the main thing is like people, despite what you probably hear from like famous comedians, the Buffalo open mics, like I hear people say like extremely dark shit, and like no one really cares. The only time people care is if you're like being like racist, but there's
Yeah.
no like punchline. Like people,
yeah.
dude, people have said there's like one dude. I won't say his name because I don't know. I don't want to like explain other people's jokes, but there's one guy who's like extremely dark and like he's kind of self-aware about it, and people love him, and he's like
Yeah.
cool with everybody. So it's all about how you go about it. Like no
Yeah.
one's like like sensitive or off limits. It's just
Yeah.
like if you're like ranting and there's no joke in it, and you're
Yeah.
saying like horrible shit, people are like, all right, first off, it's not funny.
Yeah, you're probably just a bad person.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can get away with a lot despite like what you might think, and then yeah, people are pretty chill about it as long
Alright.
as you're like a normal guy.
All right.
That's nice to hear, because I do feel like that's a big thing for people if they want to do stand up. They're so worried that like the people who are already doing it are gonna like tell them you can't do this.
Yeah, like when I did my first open mic ever, I was like 18 at Helium. I think I told you about this. There was a dude that was such a dick to me for no reason,
Oh yeah, you did tell me about that.
and he's like, "Who's Nate English?" And I was like, "Right here." He's like, "Take it easy. It's not a roll call or something." And then people were like laughing. He was like, and, like walked away. I was like, First off, this dude's like a fucking nerd. Like, I'd mentioned him on Connor and Brody's podcast. If I find this motherfucker, I don't think he's even around anymore. He's probably dead, hopefully. But no, I haven't seen him around. I would definitely recognize him, but he's probably on to bigger and better things. But yeah, then I just didn't do comedy for 10 years. Not because of that. Like the music thing was happening, and I was like in relationships or trying to get a job and shit. So, but then I felt bad. Like the reason why I got back into it is because people would be like, and my friends would be like, "Oh, dude, like you should do the comedy thing." And I got sick of people like referring to me as like a comedian when I did it one time like years prior, and then people being like, "Dude, you should do it again." So I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Like I'm just gonna go for it. And that's why on their show I was like, bully me if you see me and I'm not doing comedy, because I had to hold myself accountable. But then I did. So first night, absolutely horrible. There's been some shitty nights, but there's been a lot of great nights too. So like 3 months in, that's all you can really ask for. You know what I mean? Like,
is my last question here, and then we'll go into the Hoover of the week. But is, when you say horrible, is it like first night specifically? Is it more so like nerves, and you don't think you're delivering well, or is it just the jokes maybe not landing that night? Or
my first night specifically was like, it was both. Like I was really nervous before I got up. Once I was up there, I felt fine, but the jokes were just not landing. And dude, like some of these open mics, it's always a fun time, but sometimes there's like 4 people watching you. So like if you can't make 4 people laugh, it's just quiet.
Yeah.
And
and also like I feel like the hardest part, like if you look at like, I don't know, probably the only live like big comedy show I've ever been to is when we went to
Fully
Loaded, the Burt Kreischer thing in Rochester. And like people are going to that to see those comedians because they like their humor. Like when you're at an open mic, especially if there's, if there's only a couple people there, like your style just might not be like what they find funny, and that's hard to do, but you almost have to do it because then it gives you that like, fuck it, I'm still gonna go up there and just do my thing. And
the whole beginning when you're new, at least what I've learned is like you have to get on stage.
Yeah.
Like you could write the best jokes, but if you're not, like, because I told a few of them, I was like, year one or the first couple years I'm doing this, like my main goal, even if I bomb some nights, whatever, I just want to be comfortable on stage to where like I can say things, like on the spot where I feel comfortable to like make shit up or insert something here.
Yeah.
So that's like my primary goal right now, being new and getting back into it and stuff. But like a paid audience, like when I do like I've been on like a few paid shows, or like the Helium, like the Buffalo's Funniest, right? There's a good crowd. It wasn't like packed, but it was like most of the front area was full. I had a bunch of friends and stuff. And what was I saying? Oh, a paid audience, there's way more into it. Like at an open mic, you're gonna have people that like didn't even know comedy was happening. Like, they're like, "Oh, let's go drink at Good Bar." Well, that one's upstairs. You actually have to like actively be thinking about it. But like Milky's, where it's just in the room, people will show up and be like, "Oh shit, there's comedy." Like there's a couple of ladies the one time that were just having like a full conversation, and it was like one of those nights where they were the only audience members, and people were like, "Yo, shut the fuck up," and they got up and left.
God.
So, dude, you see some insane shit like wacky
but those
people.
those are awesome stories that as you do it more and more, you'll be able to look back on. And
I can't wait. That's why, like, when I bomb, I've had a handful of bombs, and like it's weird. Like I don't even get like discouraged or sad, because I think I just kind of know like that's just what you have to take your lumps.
Yeah.
Whereas like some people would just. And I don't blame them. Would just be like, "What the fuck? Like, my coworkers told me I'm hilarious. Like, this didn't work." Me, I'm just like, "Hey, you know what? As long as like I'm giving it my best, and I like remembered everything and said it well."
Yeah. If you feel like you executed it,
then like there's some nights where I like didn't even do that great and it got a laugh, or there's other nights where like I did really well, but there's just nobody there. So that's like, I'm like, as long as like I feel like I did well, that's all that matters right now until I get more experience. But dude, it's fun. Throwing yourself into that is like insane.
I believe it.
But it's great. It's like the biggest thrill. You know, you get off stage and like people are like, "Yo, great job, dude." It's so much fun. And like I said, all the comedians are like super nice, dude. Like these people are genuinely talented, great people. They're very supportive, and like you got a handful of like assholes, but I don't really know. I don't talk to those people as much. And some like bitter veteran comics that think,
Yeah, they've
oh,
been
I should've
around.
got
long
this and
enough.
blah blah.
Yeah.
But like everyone I hang with, they're all new. They're all like fresh faced, trying new shit, writing, like super diverse crowd of like humor, and it's so much fun. And you
That's
get to
awesome.
get
That's
drunk
cool,
and
man.
smoke weed together. So
Yeah, it's not bad.
Tough
good
life, tough
camaraderie. Yeah.
You want to tee up the Who Would Win of the Week, Andy?
Yeah, let's do it. Who would win of the week this week is the Liver King versus Jose Canseco. A little bit of a juice fest situation over here.
So, I didn't tell you this beforehand because I wanted to come in and just lay the hammer, but it's so obviously Liver King, and unfortunately, it's not close, and I'll explain to you why.
Okay, please.
All right.
I don't remember if it was just after COVID or just before COVID, but let's say it was 3 to 4 years ago. Jose Canseco got paid $1 million to do a rough and rowdy fight with Billy Football.
Oh,
for
yeah.
Pardon my
About
take.
that.
And he took a dive in the first round.
Yeah, he gave up.
Yeah.
But if he's not getting paid in this situation, if he and the Liver King legitimately have beef, if they have to fight to
Well, we're
whoever
going,
goes
yeah,
down-
but
we're going
if-
like prime Canseco, right?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Versus-
Which is fine.
Yeah,
But
okay.
either way, if Jose Canseco thought he could beat up Billy Football, he would have fought. The reason
That's
that he
not
took a dove was because he.
necessarily true.
Yes, it is. The reason he took
Well,
a
he's
dove
old
was
now,
because
too.
he knew
Yeah.
wasn't going to win. So he's just like, fuck, if I'm not going to win anyway, why take any punches? Because
Okay,
he talked all that shit beforehand, and they just
Build up
tapped
the
in the
fight.
first round.
But in this situation, if we've got a prime Canseco, who's actively doing steroids, by the way, so his mind is
Yeah, no, he'll be aggressive,
All
but
over.
I don't think he's going to take a dive in this
He-
fight, but I think
He might be hitting the nose beers too.
Because
knowing
here's
him
the
back
thing
then.
about
Few nose beers right before the
Liver
fight.
King is, yes, a lot of it was like fake because he was on the steroids, but the dude is a lunatic. I know Jose Canseco was too, but Jose Canseco was also like a lunatic in the spotlight where, yes, like obviously that was Liver King's whole thing, was being viral too, but dude, he was actually sitting there just like mucking full raw livers on live. Like, you have to be a sick fuck to do that. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care how
Yeah.
good it is for you.
His internal system must be like
oh my
Yeah.
God.
The
strong
dude is-
or horrible.
Yeah.
Imagine him trying to shit in a bag.
Dude, it'd be
Jesus Christ.
he'd be shitting like cement blocks. You know what I mean? Like Minecraft squares would be coming out of him. Like the shit
Yeah,
he
honestly,
eats.
he's probably best fit to shit in a bag.
And it would be shit and blood, like we were talking about. Like
Yeah.
he's
Oh,
shitting
yeah.
blood, whether it's
Oh,
the
my
animals
God,
or
yeah.
his own blood.
He's got
Yeah.
that perfect 50-50 combo.
Yeah, because to your point, I
God.
mean, when you're shitting out squares, sharp edges on hard poops, yeah.
I want to see him go to a doctor where they like read out loud, like, you know what I mean? Because
Isn't he's in jail now?
He just got arrested today, I
What was he
think.
doing?
He got arrested for the charges making terroristic threats towards Joe Rogan, because he said he was gonna like attack him and stuff.
see, what I
I
want to
don't
know
know.
is like, how is like threatening one guy
Yeah,
a terrorist?
Because the
attack?
law, man, it's probably
Joe Rogan,
like
I'll kick
just
your ass right now.
the weird.
Yeah,
severe-
we'll jump your ass, dude.
Oh shit.
Unless he threatened his comedy club.
Somebody
I could
drops
see how
him.
maybe
Maybe-
that would
yeah,
be a
maybe
terrorist
that's
attack.
what
Like, I'm gonna
happened.
blow up your club or whatever.
Yeah.
But
Maybe
like, if
that's
it's,
what happened.
I'm gonna blow up you.
Yeah, you should be allowed to say that.
You.
Yeah,
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
you should be able
blow
to
you
threaten a
up.
guy. You know what I mean?
yeah.
I would love to see them fight. Yeah, I'm gonna blow you up right now, dude. They should settle it by just a fucking celebrity boxing match.
Yeah.
I think that should be the answer for most things
Yes, I
because
agree.
everyone loves
Well,
a
they
celebrity
should get-
boxing
yeah,
match.
they should. Yeah. Well,
How tall is the Liver King? Does anybody know?
Probably
look
like
it up.
5'9".
Really?
He's probably
I don't
short
see
guy.
him being over 6 foot.
Joe Rogan's pretty short. I don't
He's
know how
like
tall he is.
4'11".
Something like that. Yeah,
No, I think he's
so.
like 5'4".
I think he might be about that size too, like
Yeah.
Tom Cruise size. Because I think Tom
Huh.
Cruise is like 5'4".
Little guy, huh?
He's small. Dude, I was
Um,
watching that movie Edge of Tomorrow with him and Emily Blunt. I'd never seen it before.
Yeah.
And when you watch something thinking about how short Tom Cruise is, there are a lot of shots where like she is in the foreground and he's like back here, so they look at the same size.
He's
Yeah.
so
That's
Liver
so
King.
funny.
Liver King claims he's 5'7", but the internet says this guy. I read it thread. His website says 5'7".
How
but-
tall is Jose Canseco? Because that guy's got to be
That's a good
pretty
question.
tall.
That's a good question. He's
He's
probably
big.
definitely taller than 5'7".
I'm gonna say maybe even
at least
6'4" is my guess for Jose.
Yeah, I was gonna
Canseco.
say at least 6 foot.
6'4".
Okay, so he's big.
That
he's a big
changes
boy.
things a little bit. I'm still taking Liver King.
Can you imagine just the most muscular, tiny little
Because
guy
Liver
ever?
King's
just
going
like
low,
running
putting
around.
Canseco on the ground and just bang, bang,
I
bang. I don't think Jose Canseco can take a punch. That's my whole theory.
I
behind
agree.
this.
I think I'm gonna go Liver King just for like the sheer jackness of his build,
I'm gonna pick Liver
know.
King as well. Again,
and he
little
runs
bit
on all
more.
fours. We're forgetting
Dude,
this.
and
He
that's
runs on all
also-
fours.
He's
Scary.
so fast.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
not
He's like
thinking
a
about
he's like
that.
a panther, dude.
Yeah.
He can run up the wall like
Yeah.
like in Split when he starts climbing the ceiling.
He's
That'd be
Liver
Liver King. Yeah,
Liver
jump
King
off the
is the
ceiling.
beast. Liver King is
Yeah.
the beast from Split.
The veins start like. Yeah, dude, he'd transform.
Andy, closing remark?
Yeah, Liver King. I think just because of his general disposition, like my favorite moment in Cops is they arrest this jacked little person, and he's like pulling on the handcuffs. He's like, "These can't hold me." That's the Liver King. He's like,
Yeah.
Did they hold him?
they did hold him,
Yeah.
but he started to climb up a light post. It's incredible.
Oh, that's amazing.
But I think Liver King, like, even if Jose Canseco like gets a bat and like whacks him, that's only gonna make the Liver King like stronger.
Yeah, he'll
Yeah,
power
just
up. He's gonna absorb it. Yeah,
Yeah.
probably break the
So-
bat in
Clean
his
sweep for the Liver
abs.
King. Clean sweep. Vote on that on
Okay.
Friday on Instagram. Who's Run of the Week? Jose Canseco versus the Liver King.
Beautiful.
Nate, we got to wrap up here. Before we do, I know you kind of ran through a list of some open mics that you've been trying to hit.
Yep.
Is there anything else, like you have other shows coming up that are kind of out there, or open mics that you know you're going to be at in the next couple weeks here?
No like official shows, but yeah, go support the Buffalo's Funniest. You can look up on Helium Comedy Club, their website, for the schedule. And yeah, try to come out on Elmwood. There's Milky's and Good Bar. So that's Milky's on Wednesdays, Good Bar on Thursdays. Good Bar is a great little spot. The upstairs attic
it
is
is. It
great.
is.
So yeah, come
Cool.
to those and yeah, go back for the other ones I said. I don't want to list them again, but there's one every day. So like, if you're free,
Yeah, that's crazy.
if you're free, come out, have a good time. You can yell shit at me.
What's the
Follow me
what's
to my
the
car.
rule on tomatoes?
Oh, I would love that.
Okay,
We go back to public humiliation, like via
Okay.
vegetable or
tomatoes
fruit,
allowed.
whatever it is.
I would double check that with the venues because I feel like places would not be happy with tomatoes.
Yeah, I'm not responsible.
The stage on Good Bar, that back wall's red, isn't it?
I
How
think
do
it's
you
a black
it got that
curtain,
way?
Oh.
but I mean, that stage wants tomatoes.
Yeah.
We got to feed this stage tomatoes.
Begging for him.
That stage would look great with some
Oh.
bread seeds.
That's awesome. Well, thanks, dude, as always, for coming on.
Yeah. it's good
Hey,
to see,
thanks
man.
for having
Yeah.
me. And how many times have I been on now? Am I the longest?
You definitely are.
Yeah.
You were neck and neck with Mark Zastro for a while, who
Oh,
we haven't
yeah.
seen in a long time. just 'cause
Yeah,
he's a
me
busy
neither,
dude.
honestly.
There's one other
But-
person up there, too. But I think you have the longest running
100%.
streak.
100%.
Can I
Yeah,
get like a
and most
plaque on the
appearances.
chair? If
Yeah,
I
well-
die or something, you can put like
If
a
you die
like
for
a picture
sure,
of me in the corner.
But yeah,
All right, sweet.
we'll get
If
you
you
something
die for
special
sure.
yeah. We'll get you something special for your next appearance.
Something to think about.
Yeah.
Something,
I'll get a brief memoriam, like
Yeah.
the end credits is just like
Yeah.
this podcast is
We'll
dedicated.
we'll do
I'll-
clips.
if
Yes, dude. Like old school, like NCIS used to do every episode for like the most random people.
Oh,
They'd be
hell
like,
yeah.
In honor of just a black
Yeah.
screen
Ed
and the episode
Asner.
fades.
The
Yeah.
the Green Day song. What's the
when September ends, that one?
no, the one that people use for like graduation?
Oh, time of your life.
I want that with just pictures of me like
Yeah.
pictures of me from
Like
Quested
this-
and from here.
yeah,
I'm like
still-
laughing. I'm like
Still clips. Yeah. Oh god, that's awesome.
time of your life.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just
Emily, roll that on our way out.
actually just put it in this episode
Yeah.
because I just want to see it.
If you
Dude,
do,
that'd be
if
so
Yeah,
you
good.
well,
do
dude,
die,
let's. All right, edit. All right, wait, no, I'm gonna. Well, Andy, I love you.
I just want to say, if you do die, I'm gonna get one of those like stickers people put on their rear windows, where it's like angel wings. I've never seen a new one of those. All of those, like one of the angel wings is completely peeled off. It's gonna be like for Nate.
The winter does a number on those things. Yeah.
Oh God, so good.
R.I.P.
Gauntlet
Nana.
Not forgotten.
That next to the family stick figure one,
That's a
Yeah.
great back
Yeah.
to back.
which is also
Ugh.
me. It's just you and Zoe and then me. And then but he also
Yeah,
died.
it's 2 adults and then a space and then a third adult and it just says Nate. underneath. Oh,
He's not a son.
But
He's not a. He's not a third. He's just a friend.
He's actually says in the eyes. Yeah.
Just a guy I like.
Well, if he dies, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, you're right. Okay.
Lay
Andy,
down.
I love you.
I love you too. Let's get out of here. Thanks, folks.